Hello, 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 everyone. This is Dr. Yandra. Keep it simple, coach for the Busy 9 to 5ers Hive. This is our space where employees, busy ones who have great talents that are hidden and being held captive, are building their businesses by trying to transform their lifestyles. And we're moving them from employee to entrepreneur. So I want to welcome everyone to today's session of Wisdom Wednesday. This is where you get to get your knowledge nuggets, something that's going to help you to building on those blocks that are going to help you in launching your business. So I am going to get us started. Hold on. So hello, everyone. I am Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach and the host of Busy 9 to 5ers Facebook group private community for aspiring entrepreneurs, those of us leaving from employee over to entrepreneur. And it's my hope and desire to help you to get there. So tonight we're going to go through Wisdom Wednesday. So Wisdom Wednesday is that opportunity where I drop a knowledge nugget on you guys so that you can drop it in your journals, toy with it, think about it, and see how are you going to be able to take that and put it into your toolkit so that you can be an effective entrepreneur and be one that's only effective but profitable at the same time. So I want to thank everybody for joining me today. So let's get started. So of course, you got to have your biz journals. I say that every time, but it's my thing. I got to make sure, grab your biz journal, grab your pen, digital, hard copy. I don't care, but make sure you write this stuff down. In addition, in today's session, I do have a cool little tool. We're going to do a little assessment. So inside the Facebook group, if you go up at the top, click where it says files, you're going to see a file, a PDF document for you to download, and you'll be able to do the assessment along with me if you like in a little bit, not right away. But to get us started, so today I'm really taking you over to a behavior. Remember, Wednesdays is about mindset, it's about behaviors. You got to get an entrepreneur's mindset in order to be an effective entrepreneur, solopreneur, freelancer, or coach. So with that being said, the topic is productivity. And so everybody has lots of different ideas around productivity, but I thought, let me make sure we're kind of all on the same page and how you can really look at productivity in a couple of different ways. And what I thought I'd do today, this is going to be part of a series. So we're going to cover just a nugget, a nibble of a nugget. The big nugget is the productivity as a whole, but I want to nibble today. Don't want to overwhelm you, just give you enough time to really process, but we'll do it in a series of sessions in addition to all the other live sessions that I do with you guys. So nothing is for naught, as we like to say. So let's get to the point of one, getting past a little bit of a misnomer. The first is productivity isn't about getting things done. Yeah, I know a lot of us are little check boxers, but that's not really where the rubber meets the road. So I do want us to get started with that. So I want to just put that out there. I'm pulling up my notes. And okay. Now, that being said, when we talk about productivity, it's has lots of definitions. So I'll share one with you. So one definition is it's the effectiveness of productive effort, right? That especially in industries, we all have, or sometimes we're measured by our levels of productivity. So it's a term that's kind of like the rate of output per the rate of input, right? And where is that balance is what we're really striving for. So essentially, it's a measure of efficiency. That being said, some people simply view productivity as a currency of time. Now, there's only 24 hours in a day. There's only 60 minutes in an hour. There's only 60 seconds in a minute. So if you're 60 years old, you have lived 525,600 minutes. I think I did the math right, but you check me on that, okay? All right, so while you can lose and gain money, you can lose and gain esteem, you can lose and gain friends, you can lose and gain possessions and more. The one commodity that you can never get back is time. And so improving your productivity in your professions, in that business idea that you have percolating, right, for your side gig or for your full-time business, you, you want to, sorry, you want to make sure that you're doing the right things at the right time to achieve that maximum efficiency for the effort that you're putting out there. Otherwise, sometimes efficiency is sometimes about doing nothing at all, by the way. So we have to kind of have that balance. I know some people's like, that doesn't even make sense. Yeah, it does. You got to plan for doing nothing sometimes. And sometimes we fail to do that, especially as entrepreneurs. You want to be able to take a break. You want to be able to recharge your batteries in a sense, and you want to be able to mentally prepare for what's coming up next. That's that kind of downtime. So yeah, sometimes it's about planning and to do nothing. I know it's sometimes hard, but it is a habit that you do want to kind of put into prep for that. Now, a real key to remember is that everyone has a unique need when it comes to how maximizing efficiency is for their optimal productivity. Now, if your goal is to accomplish more in less time, well, you're going to need to follow some steps that are going to help you to build that foundation for those habits during your business week. Now, many of you are working, and so this will apply into your work business, and again, we're building habits. So by building good habits that you do in your employee status and you transfer them over to entrepreneur status, it's all the better. Okay, let me just double check, make sure we don't have, if you got any comments and you're live with me today, please give me some emoji love so I know that you're here, or drop me a comment in the comment box. Want to make sure I acknowledge everybody as they enter into the room. So thank you for that. And let me turn that off. All righty. Now, there are 7 what I call kind of steps I'm going to walk you through over the next couple of weeks, or I should say sessions, as you see these in the recorded versions as well. So I want to walk you through each one, and then we're going to focus on one particular one so you'll have a sense for what those are. So there are 7 different ways that you need to really look at productivity. The first one is you need to know what your ideal productivity type is. Like, who are you when it comes to a level of productivity? So I have a little assessment I want to take you through. The other one then you also want to know is to discover your peak energy time. Everyone, again, their rhythm, or what you call their kind of like chronos, time in their body and the world are always synchronized alike. So we'll talk a little bit about that. You need to get a simple kitchen timer. I know it's a joke, but it's not really a joke. So we'll be talking on that. And then you want to feel like it makes a difference for, oh, wait a minute. Right. Yeah. You also want to make sure that you're making a difference for yourself and your customers and your clients for that matter. So again, everything that you're doing, make sure it's for the right reasons. Then you want to be able to batch your task and then give them a theme for that week in a sense. So these are just some strategies I'm going to share with you. And then, of course, scheduling that downtime. Again, it's very, very important that you have an idea of what that could look like and how you're working that into your schedule. And then, of course, how do you review, how do you reconsider, and how do you rework? Entrepreneurship is something that you will evolve over time. It's an evolution. It's ever changing. And so how is it that you can make the necessary adjustments? And you do need to be very, very flexible when it comes to running your own business as a solopreneur or a coach or a freelancer, because and many times, we have these kind of peaks and valleys that we operate from. Everything's just not this clean, straight road that we operate from. We do want to make, however, my job for you as your coach and mentor is to help you make sure that as you're going down that entrepreneurial highway, that you're eliminating as many zigs and zags as possible, or at least if you're zigging and you're zagging, you're doing it with much more intention, and that you're not doing it so you can avoid mistakes. That's what I'm trying to help you not to do, is to help you avoid those mistakes themselves. So Each one of those steps is essential in helping you to learn how you can manage your time rather than being managed by a lengthy list of items that's on your to-do list. I know I used to be one. I'm a list maker. But uh, you know that even if you have kind of those never ending lists that kind of grow overnight, the things that some people write lists before they go to bed, and when they wake up, they think about some more stuff. And so it doesn't, so even though you cross off something on the list, three more things will hop up on the list. So it's kind of almost like a rat race that you seem to be getting yourself in. It's like never ending and you're never going to catch up. And so you don't want to be in that spot. So you also, again, never get that time to relax, like I talked about. And where that time comes in for you and how you schedule for that is going to be really critical for yourselves. You'll also want to learn a little bit more about your personal productivity needs. You're going to find out if you are not able to be able to make those improvements in that quality of your work so you can accomplish it during the day. But also, it's all not all about the quantity, but the quality of your work that you're getting ready to accomplish. You want to be able to take on customers and give them your best. And in order to do that, we have to make some necessary adjustments. So, how does that happen? Well, you're going to learn how to make some small tweaks in those habits. Again, you can apply them in your current work setting as well as even in your home settings so that you can improve your mood and your productivity. Everything kind of comes together. They all kind of interlock, believe it or not. And so we're going to focus on learning how those certain tasks during the hours that you are the most productive, and then how is it you can focus your attention on those short bursts of times and energy, those peak times, right? And then schedule for those down times, and then make sure that your calendar is reflecting of such. And then you can also kind of have an opportunity to enhance your creativity, those energy, the burst of energy that you're going to need, and also be able to greatly improve the return on the investment of that time. So that's a lot. I know. Yeah, that's a lot. So time to learn how some of these ins and outs, as I like to call them, and then I'll take you through each one of the steps. So tonight, our first step, as we go back, is going to be knowing your productivity. This is fun. I really like this one. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you, there's some productivity personalities, believe it or not. You might have heard of other personalities. I do behavioral analysis a lot, and I work with clients. And there's, like the DISC analysis, where you're either dominant or you're in, oh gosh, now you just, DI. Oh, I just left my eye. But anyway, I'll leave it alone. Different personality assessments out there. So believe it or not, there's one for productivity. So I want to share it with you. So let's go through some of the profiles so you kind of get a sense for what this is. So you may, some of you might be considered, very task-driven people. And so they cannot stand seeing unchecked boxes on that to-do list. It's like, I got to hurry up and get these things off. Or you could be driven by deadlines more so than that. Then you can care less about necessarily a checklist, but you want to get things done by a certain time. And so you can't seem to get started until it's a hard deadline is looming at you. There's some people who like to work under pressure. Are you one of those? Are you a person that likes to work under pressure? Some people work really well under pressure, believe it or not, and they kind of thrive off of it. I don't know. I'm kind of toying under it. Sometimes it works for me. Sometimes it doesn't. When you're thrown a little loop and somebody comes at you at the last minute and they ask you for something, sometimes you're like, ooh, it's kind of like testing yourself. And so some people enjoy that level of stress. But knowing your productivity type can help you to prioritize your work as well as accomplish more in that given day. So we got 4 styles for you. So these styles are hopefully one of them will apply. The more that you know about each one of the productivity components, then you'll be able to decide, well, which one is you. You'll be able to find some clues. I'm going to give you some, and that's what's on the chart. So you'll be able to pull that out. And let me see if I can pull up the chart for you guys. Pull that up. Share. Okay. Okay, so we'll have that. Okay, I'll have that ready. We'll pull it through. But let me just give you a little rundown as far as some of the characteristics first. So the first style that one can be considered is called the prioritizer. Now, let's hear what a prioritizer is. You ready? So so a prioritizer, you prefer to stick to facts. You like data. You like your analytics, your logics, and you're exceptionally a critical thinker. You're very focused on your task, so you may not invest very much on attention side of things or of effort in kind of determining how much of the task is going to get accomplished. Now, at the same time, as the title implies, you are exceptionally skilled at prioritizing tasks, so you are uber efficient and you can easily meet deadlines. Now, you also make decisions easily, being decisive. If you recall, in my one of my posts earlier this week was talking about decision making, being decisive. This is a critical skill when it comes to entrepreneurship. And so as a prioritizer, you're making decisions that's easy for you because oftentimes you also prefer to work alone. So for those of you who are your solopreneurs, your freelancers, and your coaches, more likely working alone. You may bring on a team member every now and again. So, but on the flip side, some of you have some pet peeves that may include, you daydream. You have idle office gossip, we like to call it, or you go on the phone and chit chat more than you need to. You miss or incomplete data. You are inefficient in the use of that time. You give vague instructions, and or you kind of have that kind of what we call water cooler conversation mentality. Like you're chitty chatty, maybe more than enough. But a prioritizer, it can also be considered an exceptional worker. So what this means is that even in a team environment or in a solo environment, so they just don't want to be in charge of the team. They like to be by themselves. So that kind of makes sense, right? And so you give directions, and then you set those deadlines because you're a prioritizer, and then you let them go to town. So as a team leader, that may be a behavior of yours, if that sounds kind of like close to who you are. But again, prioritizers, will work alone, can benefit from maybe getting a business coach like Ma to kind of map out a business plan and talk out their goals. Just because you are like to work by yourself doesn't mean you should do that all the time. You need a thought partner. You need somebody to kind of push you. If you're working in an individual silo and you're working kind of like in a closet, you're depriving yourself of growth, and that's not healthy from a business standpoint, entrepreneur, and personally for that matter. So of those goals, once you get those goals kind of set, then prioritizers, then you have a focus on, small tasks leading to those goals. So there's a little bit of a strategy that you can put in place. So prioritizer, is that you? Let me know in the comments. All right. Now, who's our next item? The planner. Want to know what a planner does? Okay, let's talk about a planner. Now, the planner, well, you are like a detailed thinker who is always organized and thrives on the detailed plans and the list and the orders, and you're very well aware of the deadlines and almost always do make the to-do list at the end of your business day. Now, planners are not very spontaneous, not that they're killjoys, but because they plan. So what's there to be spontaneous about, right? However, they may struggle with creative thinking or working out, like, thinking outside or working outside the box. That may be a little bit of a struggle for you. They also find themselves difficult to contribute to team meetings, well, because they need a little bit more time to think about the topic and to get a deeper understanding of it before they'll contribute to a solution or an idea. They want to internalize this information first. So that may be you. Also, planners also may have a difficulty with reprioritizing tasks and don't take change very well. So once you figured out that, for a planner, though, the ideal thing for you is once you figured out that peak energy time that we'll be talking about a little bit later and how to maximize that use of those hours, then you can be an unstoppable force. So you'll know exactly what to do from your list and feel more empowered because you'll be able to take care of those kind of peak hours of time. So there's an opportunity for you there to kind of compensate for that not so what I call like a negative piece. So, but again, in a team setting, planners are very key to finishing those plant projects on time because they plan for the time, and they'll also help keep the work schedule and hold everybody else accountable in getting their deadlines meet as well. So it's good to have that person to kind of be that push and support for the greater good. So that is who a planner is. Does that sound like you? Okay, let's check out another one. The arranger. The arranger. Now, when we think of an arranger, here, the arranger is one who is emotionally being that kind of thrives in working in groups. They managing meetings. They like, very, creating and selling on ideas. So they're very bubbly kind of personalities, and they kind of cringe at the idea of working alone. They're more outgoing, right? And so they do need that personal interaction, and that's what kind of keeps their energy, going. And so they kind of really do thrive in work settings. Now, going into a business and starting one, and that this may be where you are as an individual, as an arranger, then co-working settings might be a good, opportunity for you to work within. So that's something to think about. A weakness for an arranger is that you can get easily distracted because, again, you're looking for something new to stimulate you all the time. So the idle chit chats and, just kind of maybe struggles to focus. So implementing one of the techniques that we'll cover later this week is probably going to help you out the most so that you can really optimize your time. And then again, arrangers who are solo, again, you tend to thrive and rely on social media for that personal interaction. So that's why you'll get distracted about, let me check my Facebook, let me check my Twitter, let me check my Instagram. And so while you can benefit from that, like I said, a shared workspace will kind of help you out so that you can have that human connection when the time comes. Now, depending on the time in which we're in, some people, you still can do co-working settings, even in virtual. So you do have that, okay? All righty. Any other questions? Let's see what we got. Okay, good. Now, our last but not least is the visualizer. Now, this is probably a lot of people, actually. So you're the one who needs to juggle multiple projects at the same time to maintain interest in anything. So, you're full of ideas, your energy is to start a project, but then also find it very difficult to maybe completing it at the same time. So you keep an office that's nearly as cluttered as your mind is, and you love it there. So if you're looking at your desk right now or your office and you see more piles than you see white space, then self-check is necessary. So here again, there's ordered clutter. I know there's people who do that. You have 15 piles of paper on your desk and you know exactly what's in each one of those 15 piles because you put them there and you put them in an organized fashion. I sometimes do experience that myself because I hate mail. I just don't like it, especially when it's junk and bills, but that's another story for another day. So visualizers are creative thinkers who are those spontaneous people. And they also like to switch gears from one project because they like that welcome change. So there's where that distractor kind of comes into play. So that's why they like to have multiple projects going on. And also visualizers are also see the big picture, and they tend to focus on the end results as opposed to the smaller task and the details and getting it on those lists like some of our fellow types that I just mentioned. And so when they're working in teams, visualizers can, kind of run amok when it comes to project management if they don't kind of rein it in. And however, but they can contribute to some really great ideas that are, they kind of help enhance that project and get things going. And, can add that quick idea in a meeting. They usually are very quick to say, what about this? Right? Because they're easy to think outside the box. And so for visualizers who do work solo, again, batching tasks and theme weeks, those are the types of things that, as we go through some of the other subject matters that you'll be able to take advantage of so that you can get work done and not be bored. So you'll have that. So better understand so we're going to see how best of who you think you are in those productivity types. The more tools that you're going to be able to optimize and maximize, and the strategies that I'll share with you later so that you can reach your higher potential in your upcoming business. So that being said, let's look at the chart. So I'm going to bring this up for you guys. There we go. All right. So in the, let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit for you guys. There we go. Let's hope that worked. There you go. Okay. So let's look at the activity sheet. And what you're going to see here is circle the things that work best that you reckon kind of identify with. Okay. So we'll just go with that. So in the first row, you like facts, you like data, you're a logic person. You're not spontaneous, or do you love working in groups, or are you full of ideas and energies? You want to circle as many identifiers as you can going through each one of the rows. And what's going to happen is as you go through each one, you just circle all the ones that kind of resonate with you. Just go through each one, pick one. And then what you're going to do, what I want you to do is after you've done this exercise, I want you to tell me if you are, what did you score? How many did you score in the first row, the second row, the third row, and the fourth row? Once you've done your score, I want you to post it up into the group, and I'm going to tell you which one you are. You might have already identified it because I gave you quite a few giveaways. If you were taking your notes, then you might already have an answer. But let's see how many of you are going to fall into one of the 4 styles. Okay. So that's a cool little tool to kind of find out which productivity type are you. And then that'll kind of help you in how we move forward with some of the other exercises that I'm going to give you later on. Okay. And I'm going to stop sharing that. All righty. So do you know your productivity type? You'll take that assessment and you'll let me know, and then I'll let you know which one of the 4 they are. So just remember that you are you a prioritizer? Are you the planner? Are you the arranger? Or are you the visualizer? This is kind of fun. So hopefully you'll find each one of those to be helpful in getting you to creating some good habits alongside that. All righty. Now, that being said, let me turn this off here. All righty. All right. So this ends for today's Wisdom Wednesday. Got your little nugget knowledge going. Have some fun with the activity. Let me know inside of the Facebook group. Busy 9 to 5ers Hive. For those of you who haven't visited us just yet, you can head on over to Busy 9 to 5ers Hive. It's where aspiring business owners are hanging out as they make their transformation from employee to entrepreneur, and I help them to get there. And if you haven't already done so, you can also visit over at my website, keepitsimplecoach.info is where I host my blog. I have posting of the events as well as products and services. So please take a look over there. So for another night of Wisdom Wednesday, I really want to thank you guys for joining us today, and let's get busy. Take care.